Thank you for tuning in to the new Strategian channel. My name's Peter Burke and the company that I'm CEO of is Strategian. And we're based in the United States. The company's FINRA registered and it's also an authorised investment advisor in the United States, and we're based in North Carolina. Now, the purpose of these videos is to provide facts to you, the investor, and the subscriber of this channel. There is so much misinformation in the mainstream media, sources around, even fellow investment advisors that basically say that things are wonderful and the market's going to go up ad infinitum. Well, it's not. Let me tell you the sad truth. We are headed for extremely bad times, and I'm going to explain why through various videos and to, as I said, present you with the facts, because if you're going to manage your portfolio, managing a portfolio is based on fact, knowing where you are so as you can go ahead, make the right investment decisions, and we're here to help you do that. Now, we are specialists in providing several areas. We're specialists in providing wealth management to clients, existing clients. We're also experts in corporate investment strategy, but of particular interest to us is strategic economic forecasting and investment research. My purpose, and it's also a passion of mine, is to present you with information that you can make informed investment decisions with. As a result of that, we're going to be covering a lot of topics, and a lot of topics that have a direct effect on the market and therefore on any investments and any management of investment portfolio that you might have. You see, the important thing is that if you get the basics wrong, then your whole investment strategy is wrong. And it all starts with the strategy that you implement on anything in life, let alone investments. So that's why we're here to help you with your portfolio. Now, why should you listen to me as opposed to anyone else? Well, I predicted the market crash in 2008. I liquidated a lot of investments and cashed up, and basically a lot of my friends and colleagues said I was mad. But you see, my skill is, and the skill of our company, is looking at what's going on, interpreting the facts, and then delivering those facts and information that you can utilize for your benefit. We don't specialize in conjecture. We specialize in looking at what's there, finding out what is potentially going to happen, and then transmitting that information to yourselves. Now, you've often heard the old saying that information is power. Well, that's true, but it's only half true. Information is in power when it's acted upon. So if you don't have the right information from the beginning, you are not going to be able to make headway in what is effectively a very complicated investment environment. We're here to cut through the fluff for you. Now, my clients know that we're overdue for a major crisis. We have been overdue. I mean, as I say, I wrote a book 2 years ago called Too Big to Rescue, so you can look it up on Amazon if you want. And I looked at 5 factors that were intermingling, that any one of them could cause a major financial crash. Nothing has changed. In fact, if anything, things have got much worse. And I'm passionate about getting this information through to you. I'm going to be delivering anywhere from 2 to more videos a week to explain certain things that are going on in the market that are very, very relevant to you. Very, very relevant to what's going on, and it's very important that you tune into the channel so as you keep abreast of what's going on. I mean, better than that, subscribe so as you keep abreast of current things that are going to affect your investment portfolio or your potential portfolio as you move forward in the process. Now, what you will get is you'll get fact-based evidence. Anything that I present will have facts to base up. It's up to you to make your own opinion about what's happening, because any investment decision or anything that you do is going to be based on the probable premise that you are making the investment decision on. But before you make a decision, you often have to find the information that correlates with what your thoughts are going forward. Now, the content of this channel will focus on very much the likes of sovereign risk. Let me tell you this for a fact, and a lot of people aren't telling you it, because of what's been happening in the market since 2008, risk has not been priced properly. Sovereign risk in particular has been distorted through programs such as quantitative easing, the European quantitative easing, Japanese quantitative easing. Risk has been socialized, for want of a better term, and that's just an example. But we're going to go through sovereign risks of what's global sovereign risk, global risk, individual countries that present a major potential risk to the environment, and whether we like it or not, we live in a global investment environment. Hopefully things are changing on a more national basis, but that's a process over time. But at the moment, if you disregard what's going on in the global economy, you are going into big trouble. You are going to get caught in a market move that you probably are not going to be able to get out of, or worse still, that you haven't prepared for. Now, we have existent today very major systemic global risks, and that can do with banking. It's in particular banking with derivatives, national economies that are over-indebted, the world economy that's over-indebted, the relationship of these countries with each other on a trade basis. Certain factors within those companies could cause a Lehman event at any particular time. And remember, what stoked off the last crisis was not a stock market crash. It was a credit event, and that credit event was Lehman Brothers, and there were several factors that led up to that well before the crisis, and that's why we have still the results today of a crisis that hasn't really been solved. But I'm going to be going through with the video series, with the videos, explaining in detail why we're still in a mess and why we're going to get into a bigger mess going forward. Now, we'll also look at current factors. There will also be not only be recorded videos for your viewing, but we will also have live webinars, for want of a better term. We will have guests on. Not necessarily are they going to be in agreement with what we sort of view as potentially a cataclysmic market meltdown or a meltdown in any way, but other views, so as you get a different presentation. Then you can make up your own mind. But again, we're going to present these things factually, not with emotion, but with passion. I mean, we all believe here what's going to happen. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Now, we also have to consider things that are going on in the United States, because whether we live in a global village or not, if the United States coughs, we all catch pneumonia. And at the end of the day, the United States will probably have to act as a lender of last resort like it did in 2008. Fortunately, it didn't have to do it with Europe in 2011, but going forward, this crisis is going to be so bad, in my view and in our company's view, that there's going to have to be some sort of coordinated effort, I suspect. But if you're not prepared for this, if you don't know what's going on, then you're going to be much worse off than people who do. And that's our purpose in this company, is to present the facts so as you can make your decisions well ahead of what potentially might come about, but what is probably going to come about. So the part of this is to tune in, subscribe, and you will be able to understand what is going on to a much larger degree than certainly what you're going to get from other channels or from the mainstream media. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having regular, as I said, regular content, up to 2 videos a week, possibly more. These videos will will vary in length, anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, potentially longer, but usually I would say between 10 and 20 minutes. When it comes to live webinars and something that's critical to the market and critical to what's going on regarding our world view, our world investment view, then we will present something that is much, much more quick, because there may have to be quick action on your behalf. So we want to be there to help you, to hold your hand, so as you can formulate a very successful investment strategy and obviously cut through the mess and fluff that's in the market, and actually focus on those things that are really contributing to the health of the world economy, the global economy, as you would call it, the global village, and the national economy, and ultimately your portfolio. If you're managing a portfolio, either for yourself, for somebody else, or you're about to manage your portfolio. So if anything that you can take away from this video as the initial video from this, is to think about risk being mispriced at the moment. That's going to be one of the recurring themes in our videos as we go forward. The other themes are going to be the relationship with the central banks to each other, certain events within national economies, certain certain sovereign risks that have not been identified because they've been obfuscated, buried in legalistic terms that you have to be almost an expert to understand what's going on. We're just going to go through that fluff. We're going to present it as it is. So please tune in. You're going to be very well educated. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to have certainly be much more aware of what's going on. So please subscribe, and we'll move forward together. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this video, and let's go from there. Thank you. Bye-bye.